last week.
Yeah, both these teams, looking to make a name for themselves, and the way to make a name for yourself is to play in these tournaments. I wonder if we'll see them tomorrow. Of course, we're not region locking tournaments, or we're expanding brackets. So, granted, we're going to be in a hiatus, but check out some of the forums for Overwatch. Check out GosuGamers for Overwatch. There's a competitive subreddit. If you want to start getting your teams together, if you were in the beta, you're definitely going to be in it when it reloads. There's going to be a huge new wave when the beta comes back again too. So if you want to be involved in Overwatch, there's a lot of different ways to do it. And yeah, GosuGamers is putting on tournaments every week when the beta comes back.
Yep, and right now, we are on EU Cup number 2, soon to be on NA Cup number 2 starting tomorrow. But when the beta comes back in mid-January, we'll be getting right back into it, right on this channel, going into weekly cups just every week, that and more. And, we're just so happy to be here at the beginning of competitive Overwatch, sharing this with you, growing this with you. And it's just fun for all involved.
Yeah, and I keep mentioning that interview that we did with Hubris, and I think the subheading of it was, we've been waiting for a game like Overwatch for a long time, and I just have to mirror those sentiments. I've been so obsessed with TF2 forever. The game's kind of lost a little bit of its luster. Who knows if it comes back, but Overwatch has been the thing I've been looking forward to forever. I'm so happy to be here casting it. It's been great so far, and even the hiatus doesn't bother me because I know Overwatch is coming back. There's hope.
Yep, it's going away, but we know it has to come back. And speaking of things right now, we have the attacking team of K1ck coming out. We have Micker on Lucio, Tymo on Widow, Icefeld on the D.Va, Mystic on Reinhardt, Quad on Soldier, and Rula.
Eccentric's defense is going to be Lucio is going to be played by Likely, Skipjack on Reinhardt, Lude is going to play D.Va, Nadir is going to be on McCree, Burrix on Mercy, and Nevix on Pharah.
Interesting enough, we have this offensive Widow early on by Tymo. And we see him right now looking for picks, not able to get anything just yet, but is going to spread the Widow mine and just go for offensive positioning. Interesting choice of going Widow early on here.
Yeah, an interesting offensive Reaper, too. I think Reaper offensive can be good on this map. They're actually just kind of going for pick classes with this offense, with the Widowmaker and the Reaper.
Yep, and actually a very nice pick from Widow onto Reaper there. Reaper just... getting taken out right now. We have Widow in pursuit of the D.Va right now, getting in melee and is going to take out the D.Va. Widow not afraid to get her hands dirty at times. Right now we're seeing Team K1ck really just push up here, and Team Eccentric getting pushed back. Very, very quick push here. I think maybe one of the fastest we've seen today. Big Reinhardt's ults going down on both sides, and Team K1ck coming out on top right now.
Yeah, dueling Lucio ults, and right now Team K1ck is just playing super aggressive from their composition to their actual positioning. I mean, this Reaper and Widowmaker is crazy aggressive. Then you throw in a D.Va with it too, a Soldier 76. This team's all offense.
Yeah, I mean, they are making record time right now. The Widow actually has been paying dividends. Tymo was just taken out a moment ago. And they are rolling on top. Note that 76 is doing a lot of work here as well.
It's that that consistent damage from 76 is so underrated.
Yeah, I mean, again, we were just talking about it in the break, but 76, probably one of the heroes that is going to grow in popularity as time moves on. Right now, under pressure from D.Va, though, is going to have to back out. He's going to get away from the explosion, yes, but just barely. And right now, we're seeing Team K1ck push back a little bit. Eccentric, finding their footing and, really securing the hanger against them.
Yeah, they stabilized here, and it's going to be interesting to see how this D.Va works out if they try to get through to spawn camp. We've seen spawn camps happen on this map more than once.
Absolutely, and... this is a point where usually the team that is attacking will have a bit of momentum, at least until the middle of the hangar. And we're seeing that right now. We're seeing Team K1ck just sort of refocus, go in here, and a lot of nice pressure from 76 right now. Quad, not quite able to kill the back, but is forcing them back. And Lucio is going to get taken down in short order, likely a little bit overextended for Eccentric.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if K1ck, if they get stalled out here, if they do switch to the double support, just to get that Mercy res, because that's what they're missing. They have all these aggressive classes and all this offense, but if they start getting stalled out, they might need a Mercy res just for a sack possibility.
And Mercy res is so good, but you know what? They're just rolling with Lucio all right now. Off the heels of that Lucio out there to take out 3, 4, 5 people of Eccentric, and wow, K1ck is... They're looking incredibly strong right now. I did not expect them to come in this strong.
Now, only defensive Widowmaker up, and yeah, they are putting a ton of time on this cart, and I'm not loving where the defense is holding right now, but they do have time before this door opens. There they go. They're going to reposition to the left side of this door. Nadir looking for picks as the door opens.
Yeah, I'm watching Nadir right now, and Nadir is going to get counter-picked. Tymo is on point, is going to pick off the other Widow, getting really nice harass into the Reinhardt. And K1ck, I mean, they've found their groove, and Eccentric is yet to find theirs.
Yeah, Esfeld with a really good Diva ult to make all of that space. Skipjack comes in with his Reinhardt charge and the Lucio ult on him, and they are kind of making a little bit of space. A big pick by Nadir on defense, Widowmaker.
Widow picks can be so important here, but and the other thing that not to be underrated here as well is we have Nevix right now, is getting assisted by that Mercy quite a bit here, and he's laying down a lot of damage as Pharah, getting some nice double splash rockets. He's gonna have to back up a little bit. The Widow is putting him under pressure. He has to be very careful of that Widow and the Soldier, so, you know, he has to pick and choose his moments, but, you know, he was putting down a lot of pressure there, but, you know, I gotta say, Team K1ck is moving on.
Yeah, Nevix might become important in this right now as the barrage comes down, but it's because Pharah can control this high ground really well. You never know if she's going to come over the top of one of these structures and put down some damage on you. Granted, they have good counters to her, but I think if they have any chance to hold, Nevix is going to have to go huge. Yeah,
and also Nevix did the aerial barrage from a little too far away. It gave D.Va plenty of time to defensive matrix and, you know, really stopped that from taking any sort of casualties whatsoever. Right now we have Esfeld trying to get back into his mech, and I think he will. He just took out Pharah. And I think you're going to see Esfeld suiting up. Likely right now with a big Lucio ult for Eccentric. They are going in. Reinhardt ult is down. That is a big pushback. Reinhardt just knocking everyone back and killing the enemy Reinhardt. That was some great play by Skipjack.
Yeah, we've got dueling Reapers up top, but what's important is that Rula is up and behind. He's kind of getting chased down, but he has his Death Blossom up. So if he gets a chance to get behind the lines, you can see huge plays of the game on this.
Yeah, I'm watching Rula right now, and he is just waiting for his opportunity. You know, he is... You know, Reapers do this. They just sort of stalk and wait. And here comes Rula right now. He has the Pharah in his sights, trying the 3-shot. The Pharah does take out the Pharah, looking for the Mercy. Mercy able to just sort of squirt away to another teammate. Here's gonna have to back up. But that was a nice pick by Rula, and that's really gonna help K1ck's case for pushing in.
He rates out. I was interested that he went for the Pharah rather than the Mercy, though. Mercy was right there with him, so an interesting choice of targets there.
I think what it is that when you're that close to the Pharah, it's like 2-shot territories. The Mercy was still like 5 or 6 shots. It was a big difference in, you know, kill distance.
And Mercy can't really defend herself anyway, so that's a good point to bring up.
Yep. Right now, Reaper, I think, getting a little bit distracted by the D.Va, but it doesn't really matter because they're rolling in any case. I thought they'd need the Reaper there to come in and Death Blossom, but they just sort of rolled in, and that was a very, very convincing time for Team K1ck.
It's a very solid time. Now, later on in the game, they did end up going with a Mercy as well, getting that double support to push through those harder chokes, but that really aggressive offense really set the tone. They just had all the space in the world, and super aggressive play, just no answers from Eccentric.
And some very nice use of the offensive Widow also. I mean, it's not something you see all that often, but they did well. And that time of 5:51, that's going to be really hard to beat.
Yeah, that's a very quick time. I mean, didn't we say before, like when Enigma had a time under 7 minutes, we're like, that's a fantastic time. Well, look at this.
This is an even better time.
So we're going to have to see if Eccentric can bring the aggression.
Yep, I mean, they're going to have to bring the aggression, and it's going to have to be non-stop, because they just do not have a whole lot of time here. No,
this is it's a time that's quick enough that we might have to see a strategy develop around like this. We have no chance unless we do this strategy. So you start seeing Divas in, you start seeing Winstons, you start seeing maybe double Lucio comps. Those are the conversations you generally see when a time is set so high that you have no chance to take a break, you have to be moving very fast, and you have to play an ultra-aggressive composition.
Yep. And, I mean, that puts a lot of pressure on them because they can't play the game they probably normally want to play. They have to change up and go, well, if we are going to win, we do need the super aggressive time, so, you know, it might be forcing Eccentric into a team comp that they don't really want to play here.
Right. Meanwhile, K1ck is able to run whatever they want, which is Taimu on Mercy. Micker is going to be playing Lucio. Mystic on Reinhardt. Quad is going to play Pharah. Rula back on Reaper. And Esfeld on McCree.
Yeah, and you know, this is sort of just, you know, my inner theory crafter here, but I almost wonder if they'd be better off. I mean, their team comp is certainly fine, and it's going to be a very hard time for Eccentric to come back and win in this map. But I almost wonder if it'd be worth it mixing in, like, extra divas just for the, you know, ridiculous amounts of stall, because they don't really have to win. They just need to stall out for a relatively short period of time. So you bring in divas from the beginning and just use divas' ability to, you know, buy 6-8 seconds or so per every life.
Yeah.
You know, you add that to everything else, it'd be pretty rough for Eccentric to match of time, even under the best of circumstances.
Yeah, you run the diva spam strategy just all game, right? It doesn't matter at the end. As long as a diva's on the cart and she's alive and touching it, the cart can't be moved forward. So you could essentially win the game early on just by spamming out divas.
Yep, and on defense for Team K1ck, we have Tymo on Mercy, Micker on Lucio, Mystic on Reinhardt, Quad on Pharah, Rula on Reaper yet again, and Icefeld on McCree.
So the offensive strategy doesn't look like it's going to be super changed, although we're going to see likely he's going to play Zenyatta, Skipjack on Roadhog, Nevix is actually going to play Genji, Nadir on Pharah, Lude is going to bust out that Diva, and Virix is going to be playing Mercy. So a Diva in the aggressive composition makes sense. Roadhog also makes sense, even though he's not like the best pusher. If you get close to that cart, he is going to be able to kill you, and also he can stay on the cart alone while the rest of the team pushes because he's got his own sustain. So that's the strategy they're going with right now.
We just saw there Nadir made a just statement mid-airing Quad who had the Zenyatta orb on. And I gotta tell you, we were just talking about having to make fast time. Well, Eccentric is doing it. They got to that first checkpoint even faster than Team K1ck did.
Yeah, they are flying through this. Rula coming behind with his Reaper, though. Maybe get something done.
Yeah, I don't know, but right now we are seeing Nadir really bringing the Pharah, getting some nice shots. They are already to the second point. They are on fire right now, Hex.
Yeah, no, I love the pick of Roadhog here with Skipjack. The Reaper came in, tried to deal with him on the cart, but he just sat back, huffed his gas, good old Charlie Kelly move, and then was just fine and just completely negated and is able to stay on the cart whilst doing so.
Yeah, and this is looking really good for Eccentric. They are making phenomenal time here.
Yeah, I love the shift with the Zenyatta, too. It allows the Genji to be aggressive. We saw the Zenyatta and Genji combination last week. It allows your aggressive players to be aggressive with healing that doesn't require line of sight or for your healer to be in danger.
I'll tell you what, though, they might be about to buy some time. I'm looking at Roll right now, and he has Death Blossom up. And, okay, he just got taken out. That was a nice hook by Skipjack. But here's the problem is that, with the limited amount of time they're dealing with, we're seeing a pretty good stall by Team K1ck right now.
Yeah, it's a really good res. The Diva ult went almost too far in by Lude to try to make too much space while the rest of the team was just stalling the cart.
Yep, I will note, though, that Rilla is having a lot of difficulty getting to back as Reaper, and they are still moving. Yeah, this is a 3 people on the cart, soon to be 4 people. They're on pace. Like, if they keep this up, they could definitely beat the time of 5:51.
Yeah, and if you're K1ck right now, you're kind of surprised. Like, how are we not stalling this out at all? And what do you do to, fight against this? They're going aggressive. They're doing damage again with Reaper and Soldier 76. I'm not sure that's the right strategy.
No, I mean, they just need to stall them out a bit. And note that they are really wiping a lot of the back. I was checking out Rula there, and, we're seeing Team K1ck solidify a little bit here, but the spawn points are further up now for Eccentric, and they're going to be able to push out immediately.
Yeah, and this is a surprisingly strong area for the defense to hold. It's because of all of these chokes through the doors. It's just really hard to mount an offense through here. Even though it looks like a wide open area, it really isn't.
Yeah, and right now, this might be all the defense that Team K1ck really needs. I mean, remember that they flew through the map the first time, so I think Eccentric still has a shot here, but they need to start pushing it through right this instant. Yeah, and they are doing just that. They have Diva flanking the back, drawing a whole bunch of attention. Here comes Genji with the Dragon Blade, slicing, dicing. Only able to take out 76 though, but look at all the space that was just created, X.
Yeah, the Diva ult getting off there is great. He was barely able to get it off before he was stunned out, so that's huge to create the space. Now the cart is still pushing, and they're just going to smash faces. No one's even flanking right now.
Oh, they're going forward. We have Reinhardt on Reinhardt, sumo wrestling. Skipjack able to take out Mystic. And we're seeing a very formidable front by Eccentric. They are rolling. Nevix firing from above.
And I don't even know. A big Reinhardt ult on offense moves everyone back through.
Yeah, it was like the combination of the ult and the charge, and that's just making more space for the payload. Payload is moving in. We might have a very, very close finish on our hands here.
Yeah, Nadir comes in and Death Blossoms and makes a ton of space as well. Now it's just a brawl, just melees all over the map.
Yeah, it breaks down, you have just everyone on each team just sort of fighting each other, no, coordination sort of breaking down, but I gotta say, the Eccentric is still moving it. They're almost at the point. I think they will beat the time here. We're gonna find out in a second.
Write down the time. Did you write down the time?
It was 5:51.
There you go. Oh, now I'm in suspense.
The timer wasn't going, but we're gonna find out in a moment. Did Eccentric pull it off? Because that's one of the better comeback halves I think I've ever seen in this game.
Oh, Zenyatta getting some love on the play of the game. Keeps his team alive, keeps himself alive.
They set a tie of 4:16.
Oh my god.
So yes, Eccentric is absolutely the winners of Gibraltar with time to spare.
Yeah, that felt a lot closer. I guess time slows down when we're casting, but man, we've seen, like, I can't believe this. I thought under 7 minutes and not Enigma said, I'm like, that's a really good time. That's crazy. And then I see K1ck's time. I'm like, wow, you thought Enigma, yeah. And now this, 4:16.
Yeah, that was amazing. I mean, honestly, I thought K1ck had it.
That was crazy. It was such a cool meta switch up too. Like, just the ultra aggressive on both sides. We saw some Soldier 76 we don't usually see. We saw an offensive Reaper that, you know, has been kind of a rarity. We saw double Widowmakers. What an insane bananas game to watch. Super fun.
Yeah, it was a really ridiculous game. I mean, honestly, I'm still in shock. I can't believe K1ck actually lost that game. I get it, but...
Yeah, I mean, we saw it happen. It did happen. It's just going to take a second to process. You'll work through it. It's okay. K1ck is now going to have their own map pick, and they get to decide sides as well. Our format is, if you lose, you get to pick. Loser's compensation.
Yep. But of course, you know, if you should win, then the team that loses the second map does get to decide for the final tie-breaking map.
Yep, so
it evens out.
Interesting thing going on there. So while we wait for maps and sides to happen, we'll just remind you that Rocat is awesome. GosuGamers is great, and they put the stuff on. So if you like to combine those two, go ahead and GosuGamers.net. We run betting. You can bet on the games. You can bet on the tournaments. And what do you win with the betting? Well, you win awesome Rocat swag. Rocat.
Yep, the Rocket swag. Rocket, of course, specializing in mice, mouse pads, and more. Rocket, also the very generous sponsor, helping to make this happen in conjunction with GosuGamers. And just as a reminder, while this might be the last EU Cup for a while, as the Overwatch tours are coming down, we will be back in January with more GosuGamers Overwatch Cups, both EU and NA. And on that note, please join us tomorrow for the GosuGamers NA Cup, starting about 3 hours later than this Cup. It's going to be great. There's going to be some of the best talent in NA playing, and you know, we might get that today with Hubris versus Not Enigma, but we're certainly going to get that tomorrow, Hex.
Yeah, one would imagine. They're going to take a 1 minute break, so I was going to say something important. You totally threw me off. Tomorrow we start at 3 Eastern. That's important.
Yes.
Which is 2 Central, also important. And we're going to be going, I believe, to Dorado after this bathroom break. And you know my favorite part about Dorado?
The music.
Music is so good at Dorado.
It is really good. I mean, it's definitely just one of the best parts of it, period. You go into it, it just sets the mood. It's one of those like nice little flavor things that Overwatch does. It sets the mood. It gets you into the game. Everything from the music to sound effects to, the voiceovers. It adds atmosphere and replayability to the game.
Here's how wonderful and how calming the atmosphere of Dorado is. I really don't like dying to a certain selection of heroes in this game. One of them being McCree, because I don't like being stunned. Like, I don't like stuns in games. It just makes me rage from the inside. But on Dorado, it feels like it just belongs there. That McCree belongs in Dorado, and that I'm okay dying to McCree there because it's like his home turf. I'm like, yeah, this should happen. I get it. That's cool. Whatever, man. All right, well, while we have a minute for the bathroom break too, let's pump up that Gosu Overwatch Twitter. Check us out. Retweet us there. ZP, you want to tell us your Twitter?
My Twitter is Twitter@TempoZP, where you can find all sorts of things. Usually I will tweet when casting events, when doing my personal stream, and all the rest. Usually, I promise I won't flood your Twitter feed too much.
You want to talk about not flooding a Twitter feed? At Hexagrams is mine, and I rarely tweet. I even forgot to tweet today. I'm trying to get better on my Twitter game, though. Trying to get better at it. So, at Hexagrams is me. At ZP. At Gosu Overwatch is our GosuGamer stuff. They do all the stuff. The guys who run it are really on top of things. So, anytime you want to check out Gosu tournaments and whatnot, that is the GosuGamers Overwatch for, Twitter for Overwatch is what I meant.
Yep, we are in on Dorado. The music is playing. The teams are getting set. We have Team Eccentric taking the attack side first this game, and we have Team K1ck on the defense.
So Eccentric won our first map this game, and they are going to be looking to set a good time here. So obviously this is K1ck, who chose this map and chose defense first.
That they did. And you know what we're seeing here? We are seeing that EU meta coming out again. We are seeing K1ck coming out with the defensive Symmetra. We have Miker on Symmetra, Tymo on Mercy, Isfeld on Zarya, Mystic on Reinhardt, Quad on McCree, and Rula yet again on Reaper. Rula really likes his Reaper.
Yeah, Symmetra great on these maps. This map, because the walk is so long for the spawn, but Symmetra is a character that we saw generally in the EU meta, but it's a feast or famine. It's really going to depend on, can they hold long enough for her to get her teleporter up? If not, she is somewhat, well, not somewhat less useful. But her sentries are strong-ish, not really that effective. Her one-on-one strong-ish. Her secondary fire is decent, but it's really all about getting that teleporter up to reinforce your team, and if you can hold it long enough to do it. Who's going to try to stop her to do that is Burfix on Zenyatta on offense. Likely's going to play Lucio, Skipjack on Reinhardt, Lude is going to play Diva, Nadir on Reaper, Nevix on Genji. So a pretty aggressive-looking lineup here.
Yeah, the offensive Reaper is a little bit surprising, but I mean, there's so much height in this map that I can see it. We're taking a look at Genji to start with because I think Genji is, you know, if he can get a few picks early on, he can really snowball it for Eccentric and let them get in.
They don't see him up here.
No, they don't. He's getting in, but McCree's going to get healed, and, you know, those shuriken, that shuriken damage is going to get healed off in short order, but he's getting a lot of poke in the back. He's being a huge distraction gang, and he is going to get the Reinhardt pick. That was a great Reinhardt pick, and I got to tell you, he has Mercy in his sights, but no, he's going to get taken out. But some nice Genji pressure there to start out the game, Max.
Yeah, Rula being super annoying behind the lines as Reaper, too. They still have yet to deal with him.
Yeah, and let me look at Reaper, or Rula here. Rula, of course, on the defending side, you know, making things rough for Eccentric. And he is getting in on Skipjack, is going to get that Reinhardt killed. Reaper's so good at killing tanks just in general, and oh, not quite able. It looked like he one-shot the Genji, but no, Nevix lives to fight another day up until the point where Zarya lasers him down.
Yeah, that's a reflect kill. I think on the Reaper made him shoot himself.
Yeah, but I gotta tell you, we have Eccentric really getting a lot of pushing power here. A little bit too much attrition on the side of K1ck, and, you know, K1ck not really at the most aggressive power here because they do have that early Symmetra.
Yeah, they're through too fast, and I don't think we saw a teleporter get up, and if it did get up, it is now down, and it looks like Eccentric is going to be able to push this easily.
Yeah, right now I'm taking a look at Nadir, and Nadir looking to go in, and I don't think K1ck is going to get back in time. You know, if Miker stays as Symmetra, he's going to have to settle for a teleporter just a little bit further in the back. Oh, no. Nadir was going in for the Death Blossom, but Quad said no. Quad with a great right click, just absolutely denying Nadir. That was amazing. Rip Nadir.
Yeah, meanwhile, the cart is still moving pretty quickly here, and they've been using the Diva to great effect, hanging out on the cart, pushing forward to make space, and Diva's just one of those characters. She can bomb in on you, you have to deal with her, and then she leaves. Teleporter is up, though, in an interesting spot.
Yeah, the teleport is up, but, you know, it is a risk in terms of the other team taking it out. I mean, teams don't always prioritize it, but you can kill quickly, and, well, we have the Luciole going down. Nadir, speed boosted Death Blossom, taking out 3 people. What a great setup by Eccentric.
A massive Death Blossom followed through by a Reinhardt, and the only reason they left is instead of cleaning up the kills was to go push the cart.
And I don't know if I was watching Reaper or Vala from Diablo 3 or Heroes of the Storm, because that just looked like a super quick moving strafe. Reaper that was something.
Yeah, they get through this arch, which gave a lot of teams trouble in a couple of our tournaments last week, and now they're really poised to keep pushing this cart, and it looks like they're going to try to take a stand here. They know that the timer is going rather quickly, and it's time to play defense.
Yeah, and I'm just going to note there, Genji doing a lot of work. He was able to take out the McCree. He's not done yet. He has pulled out the Dragon Blade. He's looking to slice and dice. Is going in the Reaper. Risky to go in the Reaper. Reaper very good against Genji. He is going to get the Reaper, but he is under some duress. Is he going to get the Mercy? No, he is not quite able to get the Mercy, but a nice effort by Genji regardless. But it is High Noon. No, it is not High Noon. Reaper with the quick pick. And both teams just fighting like crazy here, Hex.
Yeah, some of these assassins are going nuts on each other. The High Noon comes out, then Reaper puts shade over it. This is just crazy DPS coming back and forth from all of these offensive characters.
I have to say the thing here, though, is that Team K1ck has not had the staying power. I mean, really, Eccentric has sort of bullied them, pushed them back, and kept control of the payload, and that's why the payload has just been moving this entire time, and they have to do something. They have to either get a full team wipe, more aggressively hold on to the payload with tanks or what, but they don't do it soon. They are going to have a very, very tough time to beat on the other side of Dorado.
I mean, it is the aggressive play, right? It's the aggressive play of Nadir on Reaper, and it is the aggressive D.Va, and you even have a Genji there too, that you can't let them run wild. So you're spending the game just chasing down your back lines, trying to clean those up. Meanwhile, the rest of the team's pushing the cart, as we're seeing here.
Meanwhile, Nadir comes into the Death Blossom, but then immediately gets charged by the Reinhardt, but the damage was done. So many people in the defending team were taking it. I think that was a triple, if not quadruple kill for Nadir. And look at this, Eccentric doesn't have a whole lot of people left to defend this, or to stop them rather.
And every time like D.Va's just hanging out on the cart, she sees someone come out, she immediately pushes through them so that everyone else can push the cart.
Mystic with a nice Reinhardt ult there is buying his team some time, and this is sort of the last stand for Team K1ck, and it's working out for them. Nadir's coming back in. Nadir thankfully does not have ult back. There will be no Death Blossom for Eccentric there. And a nice defense by K1ck. I didn't think they were going to hold it there, but Reinhardt really coming in the clutch.
Right, what is working in K1ck's favor right now is once you do hold the point right here, you can hold it 5 minutes. It is absolutely feasible. We've seen more than enough games end right here because it ends up being pretty tough for the team to push in. When there's no back line for them to harass, which has been their strategy throughout the game, then some of those characters become much less viable.
Absolutely. And we're looking here, you know what? I'm going to watch Nadir. Nadir has been getting so many good Death Blossoms this game, and he is just teleporting up, getting in on the back line. Does take out the other Reaper. It has the Mercy in his sights. Gonna have to Wraith for him. Did a lot of damage to Mercy though, and
Navix gets in, continue charge up his res in time. It came off! Huge res!
That was a very big res by Taimu, and it might be enough for the hold here, but I gotta say, Nadir is still going in. Nadir getting picks, and he is about to have his ultimate. He is very, very close. He is at 94%. Death Blossoms are about to bloom here. Reaper ult is up! D.Vas are going down. Reaper ult is going to get used. Not quite the most value. He was trying to go for Reinhardt, and Reinhardt still kind of standing there. I think he really just sort of rushed that ultimate, and I gotta say, K1ck is gonna push us back.
Yeah, that was a huge res. He didn't have it. It was 5 dead. Only Mercy up. Did not have it yet. Must have got a chip of damage. Must some health heal, something. Got the res and got all 5 of his teammates back up, and then they spammed. He went to D.Va after that to spam it out, and that just bought them a full minute at least.
It's a really, really good, just, you know, giving themselves a better, you know, potential of coming back on the other map. We have Nadir now teleporting in. Nadir about to drop down. Reinhardt with the quick pick against Eccentric. Reinhardt, though, is going to go down himself. Both teams really brawling it out, taking heavy casualties each, and I don't even know, Hex, but this is looking pretty good for K1ck at the moment.
Yeah, they're definitely holding it. Since they stopped at like 5.5 minutes, they put like just that huge clutch play I can't speak enough about, and then they were switching up their heroes, and now they're in a good spot. This cart is having a rough time moving. It's moving back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if you really want Team Eccentric to change something here, but they have not had a whole lot of success in the last little bit. They really need to just coordinate their ults. I mean, they do have Mercy Lucio, you know, maybe go in, some people get wiped, Res and then Lucio ult is the dream. They do have Nevix coming in on the fair, you know, Nevix or Fair, of course. Aerial Barrage can do such work. I mean, we're just gonna have to see.
Yeah, they're gonna try to push it with Lewin here. We have Reaper coming up top too. I think they're gonna try to go in up top, get some ults off, and then if all that fails, they also have the Resurrection up. Here comes a big ult combo.
Yeah, we have the Fair coming in. Not really a whole lot of value off the Aerial Barrage. I think maybe he got the Zarya off it, but other people are going down on Team K1ck. They're down Zarya, they're down Reinhardt, but they're coming back up. Rez is out, but Mercy and D.Va getting taken out, and Team Eccentric really getting the momentum here.
Yeah, that offensive resurrection was huge. The only one really providing any presence on the cart was Zarya. She gets knocked down. Reinhardt's going to come in, but it's not fast enough.
Reinhardt body actually just kind of, you know, ragdolling there at the end. He tried to get in, to his credit, but it just wasn't in time.
Play of the game.
Q of the game by Reaper. Let's check it out. It might not be a Q.
I love it when like we say Q of the game, that's not Q. It's just
never
sort of
is.
like,
I'm like, yeah, there it is.
oh, this is a speed boosted Q. That was super impressive. Just in, you know, how we got in there and how quick it was. Lucio and Reaper really just being best buds there.
My play of the game definitely goes to Taimu though. Like he gets the card there, but his team, he saved them 2 minutes with a resurrection. It was phenomenal. And what was so clutch about it is everyone was dead. He didn't even have it. He had to work for it to get it, reses everyone, stops the cart, buys them at least 2 minutes, which might end up making like the difference in the map.
It is very, very likely, and their time to beat is going to be 7:44, and that is a beatable time.
Yeah, absolutely. It was 5 for a little bit, but man, he really bought time. I was so impressed with that play, and then to top it all off, he decided to go diva spam with him. Like just phenomenal play by Temu. The guy with the T played Mercy. You guys know what I'm talking about.
The interesting thing is that he's actually pretty versatile because he was playing Mercy there, but forget the diva. You know, in earlier games in the series, he was playing Widow.
Yeah.
That's not something you see too often. You don't really see the support go from, hey, I'm playing Mercy to, hey, I'm playing Widow. That's not something you see, and yet, Taimu really just kind of going all around the map as far as classes play.
Specializes in female characters. That's a thing.
You know, if that's how you got specialized, that's how you got specialized.
That's how it rolls. Yeah, some interesting Reaper plays. The aggression was going there, but like that last point, when your entire strategy is about getting to the back lines, right, and making them chase you around, which I mentioned earlier is part of the strategy of backline heroes, that you don't have to kill people, you just have to waste their time, because the objective of the game isn't kills. But when the backline is kind of eliminated, when there's no space for you to do that anymore, you have to adjust their strategy, and it took them a while to do so. So the Genji play was not as effective, the Reaper play is not as effective, because you're just working with the less space, which is the defender's advantage on that last point, and we saw it come into play.
Yeah, that was a really... I mean, it was a good defensive hold. Eventually, they did break, but they bought themselves a lot of time, and they're going to be very, very thankful that time as they go in on the attack here on Dorado.
So Eccentric on defense right now is going to be Nevix on Pharah, Burix is going to play Mercy, Nadir is going to be Reaper again, Lude is on Zarya, likely running the Symmetra, and Skipjack on his trusty Reinhardt.
So I'm not sure what to believe for the kick offense here. It could be a little trolls, but they could be busting out the double McCree. We're going to find out in a moment.
I told you, it's McCree's map. Aw.
No, Mystic is going Reinhardt, Taimu's going on Mercy.
McCree's.
I wanted to believe.
So again, we're going to see, one of the big things to watch is if the Symmetra, if they buy enough time for the Symmetra to get her teleporter up.
Yep. Symmetra turrets being a bit of a nuisance there, and yeah, they just have to buy time for that Symmetra. I mean, they are basically giving up a weaker defense here, with the idea that if we can just hold, our defense will be so much stronger for it. And a lot of that's going to be on the back of Nevix here. Nevix, you know, getting power boosted by Mercy as Pharah, you know, kind of the heart right now of the Eccentric defense.
Yeah, and it's not looking great for the teleporter, as likely on Symmetra does go down. So that's going to be a lot of time spent not alive, not charging his ultimate.
Although the funny thing about that is that just the act of dying alone gives you a lot of ult as Symmetra, so it's not ideal to die that early, but it could be worse. You know, she does get that 20% ult. And right now we're seeing Nevix shooting down a lot of rockets, but he is under pressure and is going to have to back a bit. A big Reinhardt ult is going to come down from Mystic. Is able to take out 2 people on Eccentric. Is it going to be enough for them to get through here? They're getting stalled a little bit, but what a res from Taimu. Man, Hex, he has been on point with these reses.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing something that we didn't see in earlier games where he's kind of holding them a lot longer than a lot of people feel safe with. You know, pop it, don't drop it is kind of the old saying, but he's been brave with them and it's paying off.
Oh, what a Zarya ult! So many people on Kick getting sucked into that! And there is no res this time to revive the people that died, but you know what? They did lose Lucio and Mercy, but they're still fighting back here.
Yeah, the defense is in a decent spot here right now, because there are so many dead for the offense.
Yep. And right now it's looking like Eccentric is going to take the advantage here, and that is a big deal because Symmetra is probably very, very close to getting her teleporter. Actually, she's at 49%. She's not as close as she would like. No, her teleporter is already up. I take it back. So she's already on the way to her second teleporter. That's a really, really big deal for the defense of Eccentric right here.
Yeah, and the momentum for K1ck is absolutely stalled right now. They need to kind of regroup and get a big push here because it is a pretty decent time, a beatable time, but you don't really want to be wasting time on this first point.
Yep. And just to know on Taimu, you know who Taimu's game sense reminds me of? You know, a lot of people think that Esper is one of the better Mercies in the game right now, who plays for Hubris, and he does the same thing where he just waits and gets very big value reses time after time, and I wonder if like Taimu was taking notes from Esper, because that's really what that reminds me of.
Esper actually kind of a late addition to Hubris, just a guy they ended up playing Overwatch with and said that, hey, this guy, good support, added to the team.
Yeah, and we have a big Reinhardt ult going down. There are so many people dead on Team Kick, but a big res coming down yet again, just as we're talking about it. And this is going to help them push in, although Mercy is going to get taken out quite a bit. It's looking like the blow of this is in Kick's favor. What a res.
Yeah, they're going to be able to put a little bit of time on this cart. They need to get it moving forward, but Lude being so annoying as Zarya on the cart, just stalling it out. They're playing stall tactics. Mercy's in there on the cart. They're giving up their lives just to stall it out a little bit, and it might be the right choice.
Yeah, because again, remember, the team that, you know, it's a beatable time, but... Oh, Nadir coming out the Death Blossom is able to take out... wait, no, that was Rula coming out the Death Blossom. I'm not even sure, but regardless of how that just worked out, 4 people of Eccentric are going down, and K1ck is going to push this point.
Offense in a great spot right now. I'm surprised they're not a little further forward, but we might see this D.Va come in forward. And here's the Reaper up top. Everyone has their ultimate up except for Mercy. She might get it up in time to res everyone after they use their ult anyway, but offense in a great spot here.
Yeah, Rula with a nice pick off there. Rula able to take out Nadir. Reaper v Reaper again. Death Blossom is going to go down, but it is just meeting a wall of shields, and that is not what Rula wanted the Death Blossom into. D.Va Explosion will go down. It's going to force the defenders back a little bit. It's buying time.
That was absolutely fine. It made a lot of space and forced them to come back. D.Va comes in, makes even more space, and this cart is moving all the while.
The cart is moving, but I'm just going to note, they only have about 3 minutes and 52 seconds left. It's actually eerily synced up with the game time right now. A big Zarya ult is going to go down on top of Team K1ck, but no casualties. There was just not the follow-up coming in from Eccentric to really make the most use out of that.
Yeah, the D.Va chase up top, and it looks like Eccentric is fine just kind of throwing bodies at this cart. They kind of understand the timer. Reaper, you know, he's not using his Wraith form to get away. He's using his Wraith form to stall out the cart.
Yep, and you know, while he is on top of the cart, that is a very, very viable method of stalling. And right now, we are seeing, though, you know, I don't think Team Eccentric can get too cocky here, because I gotta say, right now, Team K1ck is bringing it, and they do have time. They have about 3 minutes.
Yeah, this game.
They can bring this from here to the final point in 3 minutes. That is super doable.
Absolutely not over. Lucio ult goes down on offense, so they're going to be super aggressive with it, and Reinhardt goes down to counter it.
The Reinhardt ult by Skipjack was very much on point, took out a lot of people, but here comes a res from Taimu. Such amazing reses, and suddenly Rula able to turn the tides on the people, getting a lot of Reaper damage in.
Yeah, the res
and man, Taimu has been MVP with these reses.
Yeah, the res came off just before, and she gave her life for it too, so they're still in this. I think we're a couple minutes down. I'm not even certain yet anymore. The clock changed, but this game is far from over.
This game is absolutely far from over. Right now, they are working with about 2 minutes left, and they can do this. Team K1ck can definitely bring this to the point in 2 minutes, and this is where, you know, if you're Eccentric, you want to stall them out, but you also want to kill them a few times as well. Like, you can't just play the full stall game. Right now, we're seeing Farah with a lot of rockets coming down. Camera is freaking on my end, but he's going to get taken out by Rule in the back. Res going to come down from Burks. Very nice res from Burks. Going to get multiple people back up. And, you know, right now you're seeing a lot of bodies on top of the payload, just stopping it from moving, stalling for that very precious time.
Yeah, the aggressive defense, as it were. They're not going to let the cart move. Their entire strategy is, we're going to try to fight here. If you die, fine, whatever. If you're going to die, just keep hanging out on the cart. There's no reason to retreat. Our whole objective is to stand on this truck.
Yeah, they're staying on truck, and, you know, they're just like, okay, we're just going to stay here. And they're burning off a lot of precious time, and Team K1ck has to move if they want to get in here. And move they do. We have Mystic charging in, but he's getting a counter charge by Reinhardt. Nice play by Skipjack, and all of a sudden, Team Eccentric looking very strong at the point, and things are getting very dire very fast for K1ck.
Yeah, it might be time to try to change strategy, but it almost might be too late to change strategy too. I don't even know what you do to break this. It's not really in the mode where you can go ultra aggressive, because this last point, as we've seen, shuts down ultra aggressive comps. So this might just be not enough kills, not enough time, too many reses.
So they need to get full wipe now, and then they need to follow up with another full wipe. If they don't get those 2 full wipes, they're not going to have the time. So let's take a look at what they're doing. They do get the pick on Nadir, so that is a good omen. But Quad is taken out in the process, and they need everyone they can get to push in here. And a big ult is getting down from Mystic. Mystic knocking out 2 people, but sort of negated by the Lucio ult. And the payload is moving. It's just not moving fast enough, Hex.
Yeah, they've got some people on the cart, but it's a little too scattered. Now, Mercy's res is up, though, so they have a chance to kind of throw people. Here comes the res.
We had a big defensive Death Blossom coming down from the air. It doesn't really get the value that it wants. I think it only killed Mercy. Although killing Mercy is a big deal because it stops her from charging res and doing all those Mercy-related things. But right now, they have only 10 seconds left. They have to just move if they want to get this here.
And
they get it? This is going to be close.
This is going to make a ton of space, maybe a little too far away.
Yeah, Zarya ult is going to go down. buying a little bit of time for the defenders, and that little bit of time is all they needed. People aren't calling GG endgame, but it is GG. That's going to be Eccentric taking the series 2-0, and they have bought themselves a ticket to the semifinals to fight Hubris.
Yeah, a matchup I definitely want to see. Like, I mean, as well as Taimu played with his resurrections, just an overall better showing from Eccentric.
Yeah, I thought the way Taimu was playing was very, very impressive. Like, that was good Mercy play. Like, that's how you should play Mercy. Again, I got shades of Vesper there, man.
Yeah, he's got absolutely nothing. No shame in that game he had today. That was a phenomenal showing. And, it's almost kind of sad that they're almost going to be able to get the card here. It was so close.
Yep. Yeah, man. So we have two really nice semifinals coming up. We have